Meeting of June 22nd. Start again. Welcome, Woodbury, the Village Board meeting of June 22nd, 2023. This is also our second annual Hawaiian Shirt Night, so welcome aboard. Will everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence for the passing of Ruth Benvenuto, a member of Woodbury's oldest family. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may have a seat. All right, before we go any further, as I always do, I would like to introduce your village board of trustees. Starting at the far end with the big kahuna, Chris Graziano. Next to him is a little kahuna, Vic Forelli. Next to him is trustee Sue Suriello. Next to her is my deputy mayor, Tara Burek. To my right is Desiree Potvin, village clerk, and I am your mayor, Andrew Giacomazzo. So before we go any further, part two, it gives me great pleasure and quite a bit of sadness to call Karen Ungara up to the podium, if you could. You don't want, you want to sit right there, or do you want to go to the podium?
No.
Oh, that's okay.
No, you gotta make 3 rulings before you can leave.
So Karen, this is a bittersweet moment for us. When I started on the ZBA 4 years ago, you were the kind of first person to welcome me on that board. You were always the most knowledgeable, doing your research, and more important for me, probably one of the sweetest and kindest people I have ever met. And quite honestly, there's not enough of that in this world. It is really going to be tough. Honestly, you're not somebody that's going to be easily replaced. We luckily had Craig Brady there, but Craig Brady is no Karen Ungara. And on behalf of the village board, I want to thank you for all your years. God, 11 years on that board. I was ready to jump off a bridge after 1 month, if it wasn't for you. So, on behalf of the village board, I would like to present you with your plaque for service and these lovely flowers as well. So, I want to thank you. You are welcome to say something if you wish.
Well, I was definitely honored and privileged to serve.
That's so flattering. That's so flattering because Desiree has got hearing issues. And look at Maria. You should have worn your Hawaiian shirt also. All right. I just speak louder for the mic.
Oh, boy. No, I just want to say that thank you very much, first of all. It's definitely an honor and privilege to serve the village, but all the things was come to me. So, thank you very much. Thank you.
Before you leave, if the board has anything they want to add.
Yeah, I had to let some people in the meeting. Kind of gonna try to talk to them. Okay, so just bear with me. It was a pleasure to serve with you on the zoning board. Okay. I was always impressed by your due diligence and the amount of research that you did for all the things that were in front of us. And when it came time for me to leave the zoning board as a chairman, Mayor Queen at the time asked me, who do you think I should pick who do you think could replace you? Without 1 second of hesitation, I said, Karen. Karen would be the one. And then I remember talking you into it. That was the easy part. The hard part was talking you into it. And we were doing a cleanup day. And it was for the Lions Club. And we were working on 32, and I was trying to talk you into it. And you're like, I don't know. And I said, oh, it's not that difficult, it's not that difficult. And yet all these years later, you never once called me and told me I lied to you, so it was okay to get rid of me. And there's more I would like to say, but I just want to, I'll keep it short because I can't, I don't have time.
Thank you.
Talking, but Karen, again, it was an honor and a privilege to work with you all those years, so thank you.
Godfather fan, you sound like Frankie Pfeiffer over here.
I don't know that I've ever seen a board member be as prepared as, yes, he had the recollection of everything. They were always so prepared. Oh, appreciate it. Not just by me, but.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for everything, Karen. And if you ever change your mind and wish to come back to the board, you just let me know. You have to get hold of me. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to the continued public hearing for moratorium waiver request for 8 Laurel Lane. Public hearing is being continued from the last meeting to entertain comments regarding a request for relief from Local Law 5 of 2022, continuing the moratorium on the issuance of certain permits, certificates of occupancy, and approvals for the property located at 8 Laurel Lane. And you're there. Introduce yourself and know the routine.
How are you tonight? John Petrosini, engineer for the applicant. We did discuss this project somewhat at length at the last meeting. We did have some comments from Natalie. I had the chance to speak with Natalie and we did review. She had several different ways that she thought we should also examine the water usage. Rather than just assuming that the flow rates per kid would include use for staff, to include as specific people rather than just based on children. So based on her input, I reviewed an additional 3 different methods of calculating the flow rate. Each one of those methods resulted in a lower flow rate than what we had previously proposed. We didn't change our numbers that we're utilizing. We've just been able to use that input to further exemplify to you that we're making this a very conservative analysis. She also asked about the additional water meter at the existing facility. I have 2 water bills with 0 usage and a 3rd water bill with 15,000 gallons of usage. Again, we ignored the 2nd meter. So our base flow, we could easily show is higher than what we've already claimed. But Natalie agreed, leaving that out just adds to a more conservative analysis. We did revise our letter request, basically to just make it more clear that the 58 students and 10 staff that are currently at the Harriman location are the same people that will be at the 8 Laurel Lane location. The only change to that use, they have the potential for 2 additional students to join their program. Are there any additional questions from the board based on what we reviewed last time or the new information tonight?
No, board, any additional questions? CJ, you want to start off?
No, I was fine with this last time after you explained it. I got it after you explained it last time. But they've used the worst case scenario to figure this out, so it's within the numbers at the worst case scenario, so this is fine for me.
So you're comfortable granting the waiver request?
Yeah.
Vic, I won't even go to you. Any other board members with questions? All right, John, you can have a seat. Anyone in the public wishing to speak on this waiver request? And I'll start in the back row. Next row, next row, next row. Anyone who has joined us virtually have anything on this waiver request? Okay. Not hearing any further comments, can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now comes the hard part. Can I have a motion and a second to grant the waiver request?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's it, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good night. Okay. Introductory, continuing the public hearings. All right, introductory local law 8 of 2023, ARB revisions. The public hearing is being continued from the May 25th meeting to entertain comments on introductory local law 8 of 2023, amending the village code, chapter 8, architectural review board, and chapter A, 314, architectural review board rules, to review and clarify the guidelines and standards for the architectural review board. Attorney Norton, we are still working on the revisions.
Yes, I've had further communications both with this board as well as with the building inspector and planning board chairman, so I have to get you some more modifications, and then you'll have a more close to final version to review.
So inquiring minds want to know, you'll have the final version before our next meeting.
Yes.
There you go. Okay, can I have a motion and a second to continue the public hearing to July 13, 2023 meeting?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There you go. Lots of ayes. Introductory local law 9 of 2023, ridge preservation revisions. The public hearing is being continued from the May 25th meeting to entertain public comments on introductory local law 9 of 2023, amending the village code, chapter 310, to clarify the guidelines and standards of ridge preservation review. Attorney Norton, once again, I'm assuming it's the same.
Same thing, linked together.
Okay, so then, can I have a motion and a second to continue the public hearing to the July 13, 2023 meeting?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's it. Okay, on to public hearings. There you go. Introductory local law 12 of 2023, transiency regulations. Public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on introductory local law 12 of 2023, amending the village code, chapter 310 zoning to clarify the transiency requirements for hotels. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on June 15, 2023. Just for the record, the Orange County Department of Planning replied pursuant to General Municipal Law 239, GML, stating they have found no evidence that significant intermunicipal or countywide impacts would result from its approval. That they have no advisory comments regarding this application. So before we go out to the public, Attorney Norton, you want to give us the abridged version?
Yes, the abridged version is that this law was really to amend the definitions of hotel and motel so that it was clear what the word transiency meant in there, what a transient resident means occupied for less than 30 consecutive days, which, you know, most people don't, but we like, lawyers like to put it in writing.
Okay. Any questions for attorney on this from the board? Before, all right, we'll go out to the public. Once again, if anyone from the public who is present here wishes to speak on this, take yourself to the podium. Nothing? Maria?
Sorry, we'll be quick. Maria Hunter, I understand the hotel motel, I understand the law, I agree with it. With what about homes that are renting out individual bedrooms to individual people? Where is that covered within the village codes?
Well, would that be covered under the short-term rental?
Short-term rentals, I think it says all or a portion of. I
Okay.
have to look at that to see if it's covered under there, but this one was specifically for where transient was already in the code. It actually came up in connection with questions for short-term rental.
Yeah. The reason why I'm asking, because someone made a mention to me yesterday, asked me, is it legal for someone who has a 4-bedroom home to invite 3 different people for each bedroom and to get paid for it? That's the only reason why I'm asking.
Thank you, Maria. All right, anyone else who is present here wish to speak on this? If not, anyone virtually? unmute yourself and you can begin speaking. Going once, going twice. All right. Can I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have now a motion and a second to adopt local law 9 of 2023 entitled
Next
zoning?
declaration.
Meg Decker.
Okay, there you go. Can I have a motion and a second to declare a med deck on this local law 9?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, can I have a motion and a second to adopt local law 9 of 2023 entitled zoning and to authorize the village clerk, Desiree Pockman, to include a copy of the law in these minutes?
Motion.
Second.
Roll call, Desiree?
Trustee Graziano?
Aye.
Trustee Farrelly?
Aye.
Trustee Cirillo?
Aye.
Trustee Burke?
Aye.
Mayor Giacomo?
Aye. And that's it. All right. Moving on to introductory local law 13 of 2023 entitled Water Billing Schedule. Public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on introductory local law 13 of 2023, amending the village code, chapter 298, water, to amend the billing schedule for water bills. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on June 15, 2023. Written comments were received from Water Sewer Superintendent McGee Phillips. And, okay, going out to the public for comment, I'll start there. Anyone present wishing to speak on this? Anyone joining us virtually wish to speak on this? Okay. Any comments from the board?
I just got one. We could change the frequency of billing, which I'm a fan of, a small frequency of billing. I would be voting smaller if we could. That would be my preference, but regardless of that, I think we should wait to actually implement it until we change and look at the water rates again, to make sure they're equitable and done correctly. So I just don't want to do this twice.
Well, would we have to do it twice if we pass the water billing schedule and then pass the water billing rates as a separate item?
Although if you pass this law and it doesn't go into effect until filed with the Secretary of State, so you've got 2.5 weeks. The next billing cycle will be September, which means you have all of July to change your water rates for the September bill. When you make the rate change, if you say effective with the September bill, last time you changed the rates, you didn't make it effective until.
Going forward.
Going forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, I just think we should do it all at once. I think we should do it. I'm not saying we have to change the rates either. What I'm just saying is I think we need to sit down and take one more really hard look at them and see if there's a better way.
Well, what's the board's pleasure right now? We could pass this for now and then move on to the water rates.
Well, the hearing's still open.
Yes. So what's the public, let me go out to the, I already went out to the public here. Virtually, anyone wishing to speak on this?
I just want to just state one thing.
Yep.
That, I know there's a lot of discussion about doing more cycles of billing. The only issue is that we have to have to the county by mid-April, the levy report. So by going to quarterly, the last billing, and your quarter will be the March bill, which gives everybody only a month to pay that bill and not really a late fee period, because that would be the time to put the report together for your meeting, first meeting in April. So if you go more frequently, then you're gonna have even more issues because of the water levy cutoff that needs to be given to the county. So I just wanna make sure everybody's aware that the March bill would be 30 days ago. No late fee, any late fees will be added on, but it would be part of the water levy onto the taxes.
And the county deadline is countywide, right?
Well, because of revenue, because of printing the bills and all that, right?
So what do other municipalities do? Do you know, CJ?
I don't know.
That have more frequent billing than us?
I would think if you looked at it from kind of a high level, if you're worried about late fees and whatnot, you would have.
I think we're worried about the re-levying.
Yeah, you would have 3/4 of your information, what you're trying to say is at the point of trying to do that. If you went to monthly billing, you'd have 11/12 of your information, so it would be better. It would actually be better if you went really more frequently.
Yeah, but
You'd have
then
more
we wouldn't be able to
information.
bid for what? We wouldn't be able to bill for April and May, right?
So I don't know, for now, we gotta take a step at a time. I'm not saying, we need to do some research before I would even commit us to trying to do monthly billing at this point. It's the best way to bill, and it's the correct way to bill, but it's not something you jump into right away. And it's gonna take a lot of organization, a lot of planning, and it's something that you just don't do like this. So we would have to sit down and do a whole work session on it, and kind of figure it out, do some research, and come back and kind of make an agreement on it. So I'm not saying we should go any further with the frequency at this point. I just don't want to change the billing frequency and not take a second look at the rates, because while we have the opportunity, because you don't want to do this and then do it again, it just leads to confusion of people, why we keep changing the same thing.
Well, I'm confident you have the whole month of July to do that. You have to check with Mickey if you have until the first meeting in August even. I'm not sure how long he needs to print the bill to be mailed September 1st. I believe he is on. If you want to ask him the last minute deadline that you need to change the rates, he can probably tell you. But I would think that all of July would be sufficient.
Yeah, and if it comes up to making something that difficult, we can just say we're gonna change the quarterly billing and the rates are going to affect the first quarter of 2024, and we can revise it up. We can do it that way.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we kind of keep them in lockstep.
Then can we schedule a work session
I think we should.
now?
We could do that. I could start by closing the public hearing on this local law, or should we be continuing this public
Can you
hearing?
continue it until after the work session?
We could do that, whatever the board's pleasure is. You want to continue the work session or continue the public hearing until the work session is held and completed, we could certainly do that, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, once again, I'll ask, what is the board's pleasure?
Now, maybe one more question before we go.
Okay?
Can we pass this tonight saying we're going to quarterly billing and implement it in January?
You can, well, it would be February, it would be March, and then billing would be December or March, it would be January.
But,
So you can-
and then
you can-
starting in the first quarter next year.
Calendar year, not fiscal year.
Yeah.
You gotta think fiscal year, so you take
Yeah.
a calendar year. So you're currently in the first quarter of your fiscal year.
Correct.
The
And then
next
I get it.
billing, without the adoption of this law, the next billing would be October 1st. After that would be February 1st. If you want the law to go into, if you don't want to adopt the law now, you wanna wait a little while to adopt the law, then it would go into effect. Whenever you adopt it, I guess you can add an effective date other than filing with the Secretary of State, right?
Yeah, generally it would become effective within 20 days anyway.
Yeah.
Under municipal law.
Yeah, because it says it here, and if you were to adopt
That's
it
what I'm saying, so
tonight,
you don't have
then.
leeway to.
You don't have much leeway over that.
That's why I'm asking.
Right.
Yeah, other than delaying adoption.
Yeah, other than,
Yeah.
yeah, you would wait on adoption.
Okay, so once again, I'll ask, what is the board's pleasure?
Leave the public hearing open until the
Okay.
work session.
My office who does the bill collection is fine with quarter.
Okay.
We're okay with doing it quarterly. I just wanted you to be aware that the last billing would be a little tight for anyone who is used to waiting till the last minute to pay. They're gonna be told, I'm sorry, you can't.
So, now I have a motion and a second to hold over the public hearing
So,
till our July 13th meeting. Hopefully between now and then I can get a work session, if not, we'll just,
Motion.
do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And now, why don't we just discuss
Did you say July 15th?
13th.
Oh, I was like, that's a Saturday.
We were getting ambitious, Ken.
We would, yes, we're thinking we need to start meeting twice a week,
Okay. Just
so,
That's a
Anyway.
July.
all right, trustees, so now we're talking about doing a work session.
Mhm.
I know that water superintendent is on vacation next week, so the next week will not work. So it would have to be that first week of July,
which you have first 2 days of August.
first 2 days of July, yeah. Okay. Suggestions?
That's planning board.
The 6th is the
Six
only day
is
we.
the only day that.
Yeah.
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Nikki can-
Okay. So July 6th at 7 PM?
Yep.
Works. Okay, can I have a motion in a second to schedule the public work session for July 6th at 7 PM to discuss water and all things water related.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that ends that. Okay, public comment on agenda items only. So ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything that is still left on the agenda that you wish to speak on, speak now or forever hold your peace. I will start with those that are here publicly with us. Once, twice. Okay, those that have joined us virtually, anyone wish to speak on anything on tonight's or this evening's agenda?
Mr. Mayor, it's George Lithgow.
Okay, hey, George.
I'd like to compliment you on the dress code for tonight. It's a personal favorite of mine.
There you go.
So I'm speaking on the issue of the proposed outside sewer area agreement. We've had several discussions with your council. She's been very helpful in moving this forward. We're almost at the finish line. There is one suggestion, which I did send her today. I'm not sure she had a chance to look at it, but it's a revision to the last sentence of paragraph 13 in today's version of the agreement. Paragraph 13, the last sentence currently reads, if the village is denied capacity by Orange County or the sewer district to serve the project, the agreement shall be considered null and void. I share Trustee Graziano's reluctance to do something all over again if you don't have to. And what I'd like to do is, if the board is so inclined, sort of provision which allows the owner at its own expense to pursue any administrative appeal or proceeding available to challenge that denial. And then in the event such denial becomes a final decision, that language would continue and the agreement would be considered null and void. So that basically allows us on our dime to pursue any appeal that we might have. It could be as simple as the wrong tax lot or something leading to a denial. I'm not sure why the county would deny that, but if it should come to that, it could be a mistake. It could be a mistake of law, or it could be something which will be sustained. So we just like the opportunity to challenge it, that's all.
So Attorney Norton, your expertise, your comments on this, is it really necessary just on capacity?
Well, there's a provision that would be, there's two parts of this, but I just want to touch on whether or not they may even have standing to challenge a denial of giving the village capacity, because I don't want to put something in this agreement which may impact any additional rights or what they have rights for statutorily and then end up tied up in a lawsuit over that. The concern really there is, do they have standing to challenge something that would be given to the village? Nothing is being given directly to the applicant. However, if it gets denied for some reason and there is some administrative appeal process, this doesn't say that they cannot do it. I just don't want to put a provision in there that may expand rights that maybe don't exist at this time. I did see Mr. Lithgow's email, I did review it, and my advice to the board is going to be not to include that for these reasons.
Okay, George, you got all that?
I followed some of it. This is simply allowing us to exercise whatever rights we may have. So I don't think it expands our rights. It can't expand our rights against the county. It simply gives us that opportunity to pursue whatever we can do before the agreement becomes null and void.
Do that, whether it's in the agreement or not, correct? Okay. All right, I am more inclined to leave it alone so we can move this along, as I am famous for saying. So, George, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
George, any other comments?
No, I gave comments to Kelly and she's responded to them.
Okay.
They're all good for us.
Okay, George, thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who has joined us virtually wish to speak? I think we have somebody that needs to mute on there. Anyone else in the public wishing to speak? I think you have one person on there that needs to be muted.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, moving right along. Administrative business, acceptance of minutes. Can I have a motion and a second to accept receipt of the minutes of the meeting held on June 8, 2023?
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Village Clerk Coppin, will you please read abstract 2?
Abstract number 2 contains vouchers 2324-0058 through 2324-0136, voiding voucher 2324-0090 at number 22598, and totaling $340,634.49.
All right, can I have a motion and a second to approve abstract 2 as read?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, fire department membership. So I am very pleased to announce we have a new member pending a physical. So can I have a motion and a second to approve the application for membership to the Woodbury Fire Department for Johnny Gonzalez?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And for the record, he is a returning member. All right, fire department equipment requests. So can I get a motion and a second to approve fire department equipment request 17 of 2023, totaling approximately $25,223 for the purchase of Knox box systems, website setup and maintenance, and incident report software. And fire department equipment request 18 of 2023, totaling approximately $385.97 for the purchase of printer ribbon, the ID machine, and a PVC card.
Motion.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, adoption of our 2023-2024 holiday schedule. So can I have a motion and a second to approve the 2023-2024 holiday schedule? The dates that the village offices will be closed: Juneteenth, July 3rd, July 4th, September 4th, Labor Day, October 9th, Columbus Day, November 10th, Veterans Day, November 23rd, Thanksgiving, November 24th, the day after Thanksgiving, December 25th, Christmas, January 1 is New Year's, January 15th is MLK, February 19th is President's Day, and May 27th is Memorial Day. And I had no clue whether I needed to even say all that or just say as presented. Anyway, can I have a motion and a second to approve our holiday schedule for 2023-2024?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Closing of escrow for Timber Ridge line dedication. So we received a request from Edward S. Bryant, President and CEO of Arthur Edwards Management Company for Phase 3 of Timber Ridge and several other properties throughout Woodbury. So can I get a motion and a second to approve the closure of an escrow account that was established by the 4 HOAs in Timber Ridge relating to the sewer line dedication that did not happen?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to old business. And my favorite part, authorizing me to sign a bunch of stuff. Amendment to the water sewer union contract, summer hours holidays. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign the amendment to the union contract for the water sewer employees to allow for summer hours, Independence Day through Labor Day, and to add Juneteenth as a recognized paid holiday?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
More stuff for me to sign. Authorize me, the mayor, to sign an amendment to the union contract for the highway employees to add Juneteenth as a recognized paid holiday. So can I have a motion and a second? Motion by trustee Suriello,
Second.
second by deputy mayor Burek. All in favor?
Aye.
And finally, approving out-of-area sewer agreement, Highway Mills Center. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize?
I had one minor change, well, two minor changes, but it's in 2 paragraphs after speaking with Natalie. Just to be clear, it's the paragraphs where we're talking about that they can proceed with phase 1 clearing and grading. So just want that to say that phase one only, including the blah, blah, blah. So only clearing and grading would be included in phase one. Just clarification, I just wanted to.
Okay, you said you had 2 changes?
It's the same change in 2 locations.
Okay. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign the outside user sewer service agreement with the Highland Mills Center Group with the changes advised by legal counsel?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And that was a long time coming. All right, new business, introductory local law 14 of 2023, continue moratorium. So can I have a motion and a second to introduce introductory local law 14 of 2023 to continue the moratorium on certain permits, certificates of occupancy, and approvals? Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And motion and second to declare the Village of Woodbury Board of Trustees as lead agency under SECRA, and to also type this as a type 2 action.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion and second now to refer introductory local law 14 to the Orange County Planning Department, the Planning Board, and the Building Department for comment?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And now, finally, can I have a motion and a second to schedule a public hearing to be held on everyone's favorite night, July 13, 2023, to entertain public comments on introductory local law 14 of 2023?
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Authorize me to sign more stuff. All right, upgrade lighting to Adams Street. So as you know, some time ago, we upgraded all the lighting in all our buildings to LED. Now we have a new building that is going to be coming online. So can I have a motion and a second to authorize me, the mayor, to sign the proposal from Orange and Rockland to install LED tubes and lamps at the Adams Street building at a cost of $3,495.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we received a request from Joey Gianzaro, Park Superintendent. Can I have a motion and a second to approve the waiver of the permit fees relating to the food trucks at the town parks this summer season?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Who made the motion? Was that Vic?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, man. So that concludes regular business. Anyway, what's the matter? Just make it look so easy. All right, going out to the public for public comment. Why don't we start virtually? Anyone who has joined us virtually wish to speak? Going once, going twice. Okay, Teresa Longo. Get your hand up.
Hi, Teresa Longo. I just wanted to get an update on the status of the revitalization committee, if there's been any meetings with the board.
There has not been. That's the best I can probably tell you right now.
Okay, so
right now, we really just put it on the back burner and moving forward with the other projects that I mentioned at the meeting when we last talked about this.
okay, so we're going on a little over 2 months. Second question is the grant items, do we have them? And if so, when are they going to be installed?
What is she asking? Say that again, Teresa?
The grant items, do you have them? And if so, when are they going to be installed?
We have the grant items, the lamps you're talking about. And
Yes.
as of right now, we don't have a plan to install them because our highway department is knee deep in roads right now. So there has not been anything put on the schedule with it just yet. So that's the most I can tell you. I don't know if everything came in.
I think everything's here.
Okay.
The hanging baskets just came like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Okay. But there's no plan right now to do that because the highway department is kind of busy doing all the roads throughout the roads that they have scheduled.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Got it. Anyone else joining us virtually wish to speak? Anyone here who joined us in person, who did not bring pastries, like Sue Soriello did? They're so good. I'm just staring at it the entire time. All right, moving on to department comments, starting with Rob Wine.
I don't have anything to say, thank you.
All right. Mickey Phillips.
I have nothing, thank you.
All righty. And Mike Pinella, finally.
No comment this evening, thank you.
All righty. Board comments, starting at the far end with the big kahuna.
Thank everybody for participating tonight, and I'm just glad to see the weather. Hopefully, it does rain that we have in the forecast. It's supposed to have 5 or 6 days straight of rain, and as much as that's inconvenient to everybody, we need it. So I'm gonna be out there doing my lovely rain dance, my Hawaiian shirt later, just to make sure when it comes down. If anybody wants to come there, throw dollars and whatever.
Jesus.
That's gonna be our August dress code. CJ, you good? Other than your rain dance that now I visually implanted in my mind. Rick Corelli, I don't know if you have anything.
Pass laws, they have a little levity too.
Just a couple of words. I want to thank everybody for coming. I
Okay.
also want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July is coming up, so that's it. I can't.
He said so Vic said he would like to first talk about how great this mayor is and how handsome and funny and intelligent he is. He did say that, look here. He's not lying.
He's red.
Happy 4th of July. And that the mayor is very intelligent. Mayor is wonderful. Sue Soriello, trustee.
I would like to ask CJ to hold off on his rain dance until tomorrow about 9 p.m. so that our
High school
class of 2023 could have their graduation outside. I would thank you. I mean, today was supposed to rain tonight, and we had the event at, well, let me start with that. So congratulations to the class of 2023. And I would like everybody just to say a prayer tonight that the weather holds out for this class so that they can have all their family and friends come to graduation tomorrow. I would like to go. My nephew is graduating, and we're trying to balance out who's going to actually get to go when you only have 2 seats if it's inside. That being said, we also today was supposed to rain, and we had an event at Parm, which would have been put inside, but the weather panned out, and we had about a dozen kids putting on a show. It was wonderful. I would like to thank Parm for giving the kids the opportunity to sing, to making a donation to the Music Boosters, to fund scholarships for those kids. And the best part was just watching the shoppers stop in awe and just standing there, groups of them, watching them perform. So thank you to Parm for giving that opportunity. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, trustee Soriello. Deputy Mayor Burek.
I don't have any comments.
All right, a couple things I have, starting with Saturday is our 4th annual Michael Hansen blood drive. We are doing it in honor of James Ward. So for the 6 people that actually watch our meeting, if you are available to donate blood that day, please come in. We don't have a lot of people signed up. I think we're in the 20s maybe. We usually do quite well with walk-ins, but it's always nice to have people scheduled. They know that gives the New York Blood Center an opportunity to schedule the proper staffing for that day. The other thing I have is we have, and you'll get my lovely voice on the Code Red system tomorrow, we have lifted the water restrictions to partial restrictions between 7 and 9 p.m. So moving forward, water is going to be an issue in the village of Woodbury. This is not a problem that we have created. This is a problem we've inherited, but we are dealing with it. We have one well that is in the bid process. We have another well that is being designed as we speak, and we have a third well that is being planned. This goes along with the increase in your water rates because that's what's paying for all this. The water superintendent put the water restrictions in place in late May because we had literally no rain coming in and we had a very dry winter. So it was the right thing to do. I know it's an inconvenience for our residents, but keep in mind what we're thinking is that our emergency, for our first responders, our fire department, God forbid there is a fire here and there is no water to deal with that fire. So we are siding with caution, basically, when it comes to water. For now, I ask our residents, 7 to 9, there are ways you can conserve. You shouldn't be watering your lawns every day, okay? Between 7 and 9, yes, but you don't need to water your lawns every day. If it is going to rain for the day, and it rains, you shouldn't have your sprinkler system on. You're paying for that water, and we're paying for it at the end of the day. There are things, I just need people to realize that this is a community and we need to work together on this to get through this summer. So that's all I really have on it. I don't know, CJ, you want to add anything to that?
No, I gave you a bunch of conservation tips that we can put out on the webpage and social media and whatnot to kind of just give people general ideas of how to conserve some water while also utilizing it. But as the mayor said, there is absolutely zero reason to water your grass daily. It's not going to help it. It's actually going to make it more water dependent at that point because it's going to shorten the root system and it's going to die quicker in any type of drought. So what you want to do is give it a good water and then let the roots go down deep into the ground. And in these water saving tips and whatnot, I've also given them a couple of links to the EPA WaterWise site so that you can kind of put them out there and you can read what the right rate of water is and how to save on water and how to kind of judge when you need the water. There's some little tips you can do, like get a couple of empty cat food or tuna fish cans, put them out around where you're watering, and as soon as you get a half an inch in one of those, you know it's not water. And then figure out, you can adjust it from there. So there's all those types of tips on the WaterWise site that are really simple, really easy to do at home, and able to give you a way to kind of get what you want your things to look like, especially in an area that's as rocky as this. You continuously water every day. All you're doing is putting the water back in the ground instead of draining quick. So there's no sense doing that. So I'm glad we're bringing restrictions back towards, hopefully again, other than tomorrow, hopefully it rains a whole bunch.
No rain dance.
It'll be sunny tomorrow for Sue. But we get a good amount of rain over the next few days. That should ease things up even more. And we're working on it, and I have some other ideas that I'll bring to the board as I'm putting it into paper in my mind that we can kind of work on to supplement our supply.
And to that end, we have a water conservation video that the Land Preservation Committee did last year that we will try to adapt, and then try to also have our Climate Smart Task Force get the news out about just how to properly conserve water. So, does Ray Popping have anything?
Of course I do. It's a lot of things to say, it's just November. So there's an election on Tuesday for any Republican that is in the village of Woodbury. Every Republican in the village of Woodbury can vote in a primary. All individuals will be voting at the senior center, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. if you are a Republican and in the village of Woodbury, senior center.
6 9.
I know. I had 2 people show up yesterday to come vote here, so that's why I'm just gonna keep saying it.
Good sign.
Okay. All right, well, hearing no further business and any other comments, I will accept the motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I will give it to Trustee Burek.
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And our next scheduled meeting, ladies and gentlemen, is July 13th. Once again, please don't come empty-handed. Bring pastries.